Hello students, in the last video I was discussing about Wheatstone's bridge, and I told in Wheatstone's bridge if we know the value of three resistors using the equation P by Q is equal to R by S, we can find the unknown resistance. But here there is only one disadvantage, because to find the value of one resistor we need three resistors. We need three value of resistors. So in order to minimize that, to make it a little more easier, we are doing a modified form of Wheatstone's bridge. The modified form of Wheatstone's bridge is actually Metre bridge. So just see, Metre bridge is based on the principle of Wheatstone's bridge itself, because we are modifying the Wheatstone's bridge in such a way that if we know, instead of knowing three resistor value, if we know the value of one resistor, we can find the unknown resistor. Like that, we are modifying the circuit. So just see how to modify. These L shape are the metal plates. So there are two L shaped metal plates and one I shaped metal plate fixed on a wooden board. And there is a gap here between the plates. There is a gap, and here also there is a gap. In the left gap we will connect a resistance box, and in the right gap we will connect an unknown resistor. So the value of this resistor is what we are supposed to find. For that we know the value of one resistor. This is the resistance box whose resistance value we can determine. We can decide which resistor should I put here. Now the other end of the L shape metal is connected by a constant N or manganese or nichrome wire. So the length of this wire is 1 meter. Length of this wire is 1 meter stretched across the two ends of the L-shaped conductor, and from the middle point of this cross section I, there is a galvanometer connected and there is a jockey. Jockey means it is a metallic pen, a pointed metallic pen. When the jockey touches the wire, the circuit is closed and the current will start flowing. So how we will do the experiment? That is what we are going to see. First, after connecting it to a battery, you keep the jockey at point A. Galvanometer should show deflection towards one side, say for example towards left. Now you take the jockey from here and keep the jockey here at B. Then galvanometer should show deflection towards the opposite side. If it is like that, then the experiment is working. Now what you have to do is just take a suitable resistance from the resistance box. For example, just put 2 ohm resistor here, 2 ohms, and then keep the jockey here and slide the jockey across the constant N wire. Keep the jockey here and slide the jockey across the constant N wire. You can see the deflection of the galvanometer keeps on decreasing, and at one particular point the deflection of the galvanometer becomes 0. The point on the wire where the galvanometer shows 0 deflection is called the balancing condition of the Metre bridge. The point where the galvanometer shows 0 deflection is the balancing condition of the Metre bridge. So let this length be taken as L. I told the total length is 1 meter, so it is called Metre bridge. Total length is 1 meter. So if this AJ is L, what is JB? JB is 100 minus L. So this wire is having a resistance AJ. It is a constant N wire. So AJ is having a resistance, JB is also having a resistance. Here there is one resistance, here there is one resistance. Okay, so we are going to use the Kirchhoff's our Wheatstone's principle itself, P by Q is equal to R by S. So here, what is P, what is Q? Just listen. P by Q is equal to R by S. Here P is resistance of this, Q is X. So I wrote R by X. Now P by Q is equal to R by S, right? R is resistance of this portion AJ, and here resistance of this portion. So RAJ by RJB. Now you know resistance is directly proportional to length. So instead of resistance RAJ by RJB, I just put the length only, AJ by JB, because resistance is directly proportional to length. So R by X is equal to AJ by JB. What is AJ? L. What is JB? 100 minus L. So R by X is equal to L by 100 minus L. So that L we can measure with scale. There is a scale attached here, so using that itself we can measure, and this value we know, then X can be found very easily using the equation R by X is equal to L by 100 minus L. So X is equal to R into 100 minus L by L. This is how a meter bridge works. Okay, now let us see the next topic, that is potentiometer. What does actually a potentiometer means? Potentiometer is a device which is used to find the unknown EMF, the internal resistance and terminal potential difference accurately. Unknown EMF, terminal potential difference, internal resistance of the cell, all those things can be measured accurately using potentiometer. So unlike from meter bridge, it consists of 10 meter long wire. Meter bridge consists of 1 meter long wire. Potentiometer consists of either 5 meter or 10 meter long wire. The length is increased in potentiometer to increase the sensitivity, thereby increasing the accuracy also. So just see, there is a wooden board, and on a wooden board a 10 meter long wire or a 5 meter long wire are stretched. Here I have shown 4 meter long wire. So these are copper plates or steel plates which are connected on the wooden board. So I just take constant wire, and this is 1 meter which is stretched across this one, and another 1 meter stretched across this end, third 1 meter is stretched across here, and the fourth is like this. Like that it goes in a zigzag manner. Now a battery is connected, the positive of the battery is connected to A, negative of the battery is connected to the ammeter. Usually we take millimeter, which is connected to a rheostat, a key, and it is connected to B. When we switch the circuit on, we are going to see the principle of potentiometer. Say for example, here I give 5 volt, here I give 4 volt. The 4 volt is divided to all these 4 wires. Okay, the 4 volt of this cell, imagine this cell is having 4 volt, I am giving you the example. So if I give 4 volt and then switch on the key, the 4 volt is divided across these 4 wires. So what is the voltage of one wire? 1 volt plus 1 volt plus 1 volt plus 1 volt. Am I correct? So that is 4 volt. So the potential difference is distributed across the entire length of the wire. Now we connect a voltmeter here and keep the jockey, and we move the jockey from A to this side, and then like this across each wire we can move the jockey. You can see that as I increase the length, that means as I move the jockey from the point A towards the wire to point B, As I move the jockey from point A to point B across the wire, along the wires, you can see that the voltmeter reading is increasing. That means the potential drop across the length of the wire is directly proportional to the length when a constant current passes through it. When a constant current passes through the potentiometer wire of uniform cross-sectional area, the potential drop is directly proportional to length. As length increases, V, potential drop also increases, because now you see my example, I told 4 volt. The entire length is, this entire length is 1 meter, right? So, this is 1 volt, this is 1 volt, this is 1 volt, this is 1 volt. So, total is 4 volt. So, if I am moving the jockey to 50 centimeter, what is the volt? 0.5 volt. If I move the jockey to 100 centimeter, the voltage is 1 volt. If I move the jockey to 150 centimeter, the voltage is 1.5 volt. Understood? Voltage is increasing, the potential drop is increasing with length. So, V proportional to L, or I will be writing V is equal to KL, and that K, V by L is a constant. That constant is called K. So, V by L is equal to K. K is called potential gradient. K is called a potential gradient. So, if I draw the graph connecting voltage and length, we can say voltage is directly proportional to length. The graph will be a straight line. Okay. So, that is the principle of the potentiometer. To increase the sensitivity of the potentiometer, I have to decrease the potential gradient. So, to decrease the potential gradient, I have to increase the length. That is why I use more wires. I use, like here I have shown 400 centimeter long, 4 meter long wire. In the lab we have 10 meter long wire. So, the length is increased to decrease the potential gradient, and only if the potential gradient is decreased, the sensitivity will increase. So, the accuracy will also be increased. Okay, so that's all in this video. In the next section, we can deal with how a potentiometer can be used to compare the EMF of the cells, and how the potentiometer is used to find the internal resistance of the cell. Those two things we will do it in the next video. Thank you.